Good morning and welcome to Ripped Off in Vietnam. I'm in my office right now in my house. Well, today is about being ripped off, but not in Vietnam, in the USA. When I left the United States and decided to move to Vietnam, I had some cats and I didn't want to leave my cats behind. So I went through the process to find out which airline, how to get my cats to Vietnam. Well, if you read on the Vietnamese website, they want all kinds of stuff, which I knew wasn't true from experience from the past. Anyway, obviously, all the cats' owners have vaccination and rabies shot. Well, also, I flew by Korean Airlines, which was highly recommended. So, from Dallas to Incheon, Incheon to Da Nang, Vietnam. I've heard some stories about bringing your pets through Hanoi. They want all kinds of paperwork. Same as in Saigon. Mark from the Mark side, he paid an enormous amount, I think it was about $14,000 to bring his cats, his dog to Vietnam. And in the end, he had to go down to Saigon from Da Nang and pick it up. So I don't know what happened there. I don't know the full story, but I know he paid a lot of money for his animal. Well, Korean Airline, they'll charge you $300 per animal. You can bring one on board and the others can stay below in the cargo area designed for pets. And they'll charge you, like I said, $300 a cat or a dog. Well, if you have more than three, then you're in trouble. So what do? And you've got to book ahead to make sure they've got room because other people bring their pets. So it's first come, first serve. You also got to make sure that the connecting flight is room for your pets. So what happened with me was I went to the airport just to double check, and you need a USDA certificate from the United States. Why? I don't know. Vietnam does not care. I kept telling them that. But oh no, they're so worried about Vietnam and they want this and want that. They even wanted you to have a microchip. Why? I mean, you tell them in Vietnam about the microchip and they're like, what? What are you talking about? But of course, here we go again, worried about the rest of the damn world. So anyway, I get this USDA certificate. I ferry my cats from DFW to a vet. It does all the paperwork, FedEx it to the Washington, FedEx it back. Another couple of $100 there. So I have this USDA certificate. I go to the airport in DFW, no problem, get on the plane. When you go through TSA, they actually want you to take your cat out of the carrier and walk through the x-ray machine. That's real smart. Your cat's already PO'd, and you've got a big cat, he can start scratching, and you're going to drop him and trying to catch him at the airport. Yeah, good thinking, TSA. I'm going to blow my cat up. Yeah, I'm going to stick C4 inside him. You guys ought to wake up, especially about taking the damn shoes off. I mean, how much of these x-ray machines we walk through and they can't pick up stuff in your shoes, you got to take your shoes off? Man, I'd be getting a refund. But anyway, back to Korean Airlines. You have to have a certain weight on your pet. The carrier has to be a certain dimension. You can check all that out first. So I get on the plane. Row 41 is designed for pets. And you put your pet under the seat in front of you. No problem. And then I get to the airport in Korea. You don't see your pet that's below. They transfer it automatically, which I hope is no problem because I've heard stories about that also. But as I said, Korean Airlines was highly recommended. So I get to Da Nang. I get off the plane, carry my cat through immigration, and then I look for the ones that were in the carrier underneath. And I asked somebody, where's the pets that were underneath the aircraft? And they said, over there. And there was my cat. So I went and put him on the dolly with my other cat, and went over to immigration. Went over to customs where they check everything. I went to put my backpack on the conveyor belt for the x-ray, and they just go, wave. Didn't even look at my paperwork, didn't even look at my cats. So I paid a couple of $1,000s in the US for nothing, as usual, ripped off again. But in my own country, yeah, go figure. Unbelievable. So also you need a motel that's going to accept pets. So you want to make sure ahead of time that they're pet friendly. Well, I had more than two or three cats. I'll let you know how many I had. What I had to do in the end, I had to board a couple down near DFW airport in Texas. And the facility there is very nice. They charge $50 a day per cat. And I had three cats I had to board there for about 2 weeks. So that ran into a little bit of money. But hey, my cats are priceless. I never leave them behind. I don't care what it costs. So anyway, a co-worker I used to work with in the oil field before it went bust in 2015, he became a realtor. I used him to sell my house in Midland, Texas, and then I paid him and his wife to bring the rest of my cats instead of going back and forth, back and forth. I found a place. First place I looked at, the guy said, "Your pets? No problem." So I took the house straight away. I was so happy I ended up paying a year in advance and he didn't even want a deposit. So that's unbelievable. Talk about luck. So my cats are in a 10,000 square foot house, 3-story, 5-bedroom, 4-bath. They can go out the front. They can't get out into the road, of course, and then they can go out into the back and lay out there in the sun. So I really lucked out on that. But if you want to bring your pets or if you want any further information, contact me. Leave a message. I'll get back to you. You know, questions and answers are free. I mean, you may have to buy me a cup of coffee one day, but I don't know about that. We'll see. But if you want any information on how to bring your pets over here, just contact me. By the way, I had 7 cats that I would not leave behind. And the total price, the time I paid boarding, USDA useless certificate, airline fee, this fee, that fee, the fee for my friends to come over and back. I paid for their airfare to bring the rest of my cats. I have 7 cats, and I would not leave them behind. So right now, my cats just ate. It's about 6:30 a.m. That's Trooper. Oh no, that's Bandit. He steals the milk from the other cats. I don't know why he does that. His brother is here somewhere. That's Miss Kitty up there. Of course, Miss Kitty is from Gunsmoke. That's Alien. He's a rescue cat. Miss Kitty, that's her baby, Bandit and Trooper. And she just walked into my house one day and decided to stay. So that pretty much saved her life. And before I could get her fixed, she had the babies. That's one of her babies. So I kept them together. That there is Choopy 2, short for Chupacabra. Her mother was Chupacabra, but unfortunately her mother ran off. The other ones, I don't know where they've gone. They've probably gone upstairs. There's little guy who I rescued. I rescued little guy. I went down to the pound in Midland, Texas to get a vaccination certificate voucher. And there was a little baby cat all by himself crying, and they were going to kill him. And I'm like, he's coming with me. Well, I named him Little Guy. He sat on my chest all the way home to my house. I think I hear the cats upstairs now. He sat on my chest all the way home. He is my biggest cat right now. He's no longer a little guy. He's enormous. When the cats are all in this room in my office together, I'll do a video and show you them. But he's enormous. There's White Socks. He went missing the other day. He escaped. Dang it. But we found him. The Vietnamese people here put him on the website. And within 5 minutes of putting him on the local website, someone said, "Yeah, I know who's got your cat." So I tried to give the lady some money for looking after him. She wouldn't take it. That's what they're like here. They're so nice. So I've got him. I've got Trooper, Bandit, Little Guy, Choopy, White Socks, Miss Kitty, Alien. It's a rescue. He's a rescue cat, my Alien. He's about 6 years old now. And of course, doing what he does best, Bandit. He's asleep. They've all just eaten. So anyway, that's my story about bringing my cats to Da Nang, Vietnam. There's no way in hell I would leave them behind. And by the way, how much? $22,000 I paid in the end. It cost me for time, Uber, USDA, airline fee, blah, 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 paying my friends to come over. That's what it cost. $22,000 to bring my 7 cats. If you're going to bring one, it's probably going to be a lot cheaper. But there's no way I would give up my cats. So that's my story on my cats. Please like, please subscribe as you can. I appreciate it. Take care now.